Hi, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Breakthrough with me, your host, Tess Timmons. In this episode, we are going to be centered on travel, wellness, and entrepreneurship. I have two amazing entrepreneurs for you to meet today. We've got Chandra with Wellness Vacay and Terri with the Healing Temple. Hey, ladies, how are you doing today?
I'm well.
Greetings,
I'm
greetings.
well.
Doing well. I am excited.
As
Thank you
well.
for having us.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you to be here and for other people to learn more about you and your companies. I met you both through booking a trip to Costa Rica. How many places have your retreats been, and what made you choose Costa Rica?
Okay. Well, so far we have been to Tulum, Bali, and in our lovely hometown, Los Angeles, with some more retreats coming on the horizon. We're looking at Colombia, and we are also looking at Africa. But so far we've been to Tulum, Bali, and Los Angeles. The reason I think we went with Costa Rica was because of the Afro-Caribbean culture, which really stood out to us. So it was really nice to be in that eco-friendly environment, and I really admire the sustainability of Costa Rica. So I
Yeah.
thought, speaking with Terri, that it would be really great for us to dabble in all of that. And I also wanted just to be immersed in those cultural experiences that the country has to offer.
Yeah, Terry, do you want to expand on that at all?
Yeah, we like she said, we've been there quite a few times each place, and we really immerse ourselves in the culture, and I think that's what makes the retreat so special. We visit, but then we learn, we educate, and then we have a full immersion and integration. So I think that is what makes our retreats so memorable.
Yes,
I totally
yes.
agree.
Hmm.
We're going to talk a little bit more about Costa Rica, but first I want to talk about the experience of finding you guys, because I feel like this is different than some other retreats or travel companies that people can find, and I really admired it. From the moment I found your advertisement on Instagram, I could feel that the retreat was for me, even before our Zoom meeting and even before we did the intake form. I could like feel it. So I wondered, as entrepreneurs, is there any practice that you do that attracts your ideal clients?
Yeah, we set intentions and the type of clients that we want to work with, and we also do a vibe check call, which really evaluates who the person is, what they're looking for, because each retreat we make sure to have everyone get a piece of what they came for. So I think that vibe check call really helps us evaluate and navigate the expectations of the retreat and also the type of people that we're looking to attract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chandra, you want to say anything about that too?
I agree. It's really the vibe check call, because I really feel the intake form already sets up that premises, and we seem to attract people who are looking for a wellness experience combined with sisterhood. So it's like a whole community experience, and then we also incorporate adventure, exploration, and emphasize bonding and self care. So that intake form kind of goes through, skims through and gets you to, excuse me, tripping over my words. But the intake form helps us narrow down who our ideal client is, our retreat
Yeah.
attendee is, and then the vibe check call is when we could just do that tap in. And as Terri said, setting those intentions.
Yeah, I found that really cool. Like there were some companies that I found through Instagram and they were asking me to put money down right away before I'd even spoken to them. So I really appreciated that there was an intake form, that you guys wanted to talk to me on a Zoom call first so that we could all feel comfortable. There were
Yeah.
several things within the retreat where I felt so cared for. So I just wanted to highlight those as well, because I think that that's a really it was a really beautiful process. And like you mentioned as well, that sisterhood or that feeling of uniting together. So the intake form and the Zoom call made me feel really comfortable. I've traveled alone several times, but I also brought some women with me on this vacation that were used to traveling with their husbands and not with a group of women. So that was also really cool. Or maybe they hadn't traveled out of the country without their husbands, right? So all of that helped connect us. The moment that we got to Costa Rica, I thought it was so fun. to get a water bottle from you guys that had my name on it, and we took a picture together. It wasn't the water bottle per se, but it really showed me that you were thinking of me before you even met me in person. So that felt really like I felt cared for in that regard. And then at the end of our trip, depending on our flights of when we were leaving Costa Rica, you guys were leaving earlier than me. And so you asked if I wanted to stay longer at the Airbnb house. You made sure to set up a ride for me, a 4 hour ride or a couple-hour ride to get back to the airport. And then you were no longer with me, but you still called and made sure that I was on the bus, that I made it to the airport. Even when I flew back to the United States, you guys called me and made sure I made it back there. So I felt like as women traveling the globe, like there was also a care factor and safety. And you were no longer like on the clock, right? But it also showed me that you really cared about me as a client and myself as a human being as well. So all of that sisterhood and that uniting was really perfect for someone who, like me, has traveled out of the country a lot, or other women who have not. So I would highly advise you guys as someone to experience that with.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Tess.
that's
It's so. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go, Terry.
no, you go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's really affirming to hear that because we really pour our hearts into making sure that everyone feels cared for. So it really means a lot to us that we were received that way by you, and so that really hits the nail on the head. That's what we intend to do, and to know that you felt that way means a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry, will you tell us, like, were there any highlights for you in Costa Rica? I was shocked that you guys had never been there before because the trip was outlined so effortlessly in my eyes, and there was so many fun things to do. I felt so at home with you guys as my tour guides. I think we spent like 5 days together in Costa Rica.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
What highlights did you have on the trip?
One of the highlights I had on the trip, I thought that was really beautiful. Yeah, the welcoming is always the best. I love that part where we get to meet everybody and just kind of pull in that warm hug, that first hug that says, hey, we're no longer doing this visual and Instagram life. We're real people. So I love that part. Also, we were taking the bus when we left the hotel the next day. We were taking the bus going to our next destination. And I thought really, really hard about the fact that the bus driver had this food in his car and he saw the stray dog. And even though he's on the clock per se, he pulled over to feed the dog and was just so unbothered by who was on the bus or where we were going. But I recognize that those people really care about others, right? And he fed the dog. He pat the dog, gave the dog some love, got back on the bus and got us to our destination safely. But it just kind of showed the character of the people that we were with. Um, Another highlight for me was that when we were we were doing the walk at the forest, and this man had taken all his time and talent and education to really break down what each animal meant, what each leaf meant, why we walked the way we did, how we entered the place, how we honored the place, what the trees meant, how long they had been there. This wasn't just an average tour guide, right? He really cared for the land. He cared for the space. He cared about the energy, and he took his time. And you could feel that in the tour that, the people there care outside of themselves. So they love the land. Okay. They love the people, but they take the time to really share the knowledge that they find so valuable in those spaces. I think that was a couple of my highlights. Yeah. The food.
Yeah, was a great highlight. Yeah, yeah. I remember Shiloh's ethnobotany discussions were amazing. That's a great point. And yes, the
Yeah.
food was amazing.
Yeah.
Chandra, what highlights did you have on the trip?
I think for me, it was starting those mornings that we started yoga overlooking the Puerto Viejo coastline.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It was just the visuals alone was therapeutic, and just being able to start the day with movement really was fulfilling. And then having breakfast at the same space
Yeah.
That I really enjoyed that. And then my second highlight was the whitewater rafting. And those were the most intense rapids I've ever done in my life. So now I could officially say that I am a whitewater rafter. And I just really enjoyed that we went for it. We were scared. They were intense. We worked together. And I mean, I know they were challenging, but it required us to really team build, so to speak, just to
Yeah.
be synchronized. And it was an exhilarating experience. So I was glad that we all got to have that experience together.
Yeah.
So those were
Even the
my
view.
two.
Wait, sorry.
Um,
Even the view to get to the white water rafter was so gorgeous.
it was, it
And we
was.
did nothing but just go there to look. It was so beautiful.
It was for
Yeah, the
you.
amount of terrain that we crossed was amazing. Like going from San Jose by bus down to Puerto Viejo. Am I saying that right? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yes.
There was so much land that we covered that we could see, and then driving up past Limon to the rafting was
Oh,
gorgeous.
yeah.
But I love that we were able to see all of that land, and really cross so many different geographies. Yeah, the rafting trip was one of my highlights as well. I actually was so afraid to do it, but I felt like, okay, they set it up on this trip. I'm going to believe that I can. Women
Mhm.
hear me roar. But yeah, it was so neat. Even driving up, I was enjoying the view, but was kind of scared. And then once we got on the rapids, they were big. And I looked at Chandra and I thought, okay, like, what are you doing? What are you taking me on? But we all sunk in together and started moving together and rafting together. We also one of our guides was local, and he was talking to us about how it was Bree indigenous land. So I even said a prayer to the indigenous people as
Man.
we were rafting, and it felt really safe on the raft, and had a great time. And even after that, with our walk with Shiloh, we ended up at a river where a Bree shaman was there, and that I was able to meet as well. So I agree with you. All the connection of land and spirituality made this trip like amazing for me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
you guys, when you're building these trips, there's a lot of intention that goes behind the creation of them. We had several days of team building before we even went rafting, so that we had that cohesive feeling together. You kept us on the move. We were out of the Airbnb at 7 a.m. each day. And a couple days I was like, oh man, I kind of want to sleep. But I'm glad we did not, because when I look back, the amazing activities, the amount of geography we covered, I wouldn't want to miss any of it. So, but I also really appreciate that you kept us on the move. You had a couple more things that I thought were really beautiful when thinking about like wellness and travel. You gave us a point system when we ate our meals, which made me very intentional about what I ate. It wasn't just ordering a whole bunch of food and sampling stuff. I really was mindful about what I wanted to eat, and like when I'm traveling, I want to still make sure that I'm eating with intention and health. And then also like I didn't drink a lot on the trip. I'm just not really interested in that, but I felt very welcomed and at home, because this trip is also about wellness. So I felt very comfortable in that regard. And then waking up every morning and doing yoga and rafting gave us like physical movement and challenges. And that helps my body feel good as well. So why is it important in vacation that we still um, think about our wellness and are mindful about that?
You know, the food point system. I've spoken to Chandra about this so often. It's brilliant. I didn't realize how impactful that would be until honestly maybe a couple of retreats later. You really begin to look to satisfy, and you remove the space of crave and greed, and you just look to satisfy, just to nourish the body. I think it's really a good system that we have for that. When people get on vacation, sometimes they want to let loose and be, and that's great too. But when you're considering wellness, you always really want that at the forefront of whatever you're doing, right? Even in your, you know, just in a space where you're just doing whatever, we really want to enforce wellness as being always the goal, so that food, nutrition, satisfying the body, the urge to be greedy versus satisfy, you know, have a nourishing meal, the type of meal that you're ingesting. Just from that beginning point that you are intentional about your meal, you're already feeding yourself well. You know what I mean? It goes a really long way when you do that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. We talked a lot when we were eating our meals too about like what am I particularly craving, and it's great to ask that chef like can I have this on the side, and it is your meal, so make sure you're satiated from it. Yeah. Chandra, do you want to add anything about wellness? You made sure on our trip that we rafted, did yoga. A lot of times on vacation we just sit back and whatever. Why did you keep us moving, or what else do you want to say about wellness and travel?
What I want to say is it's really about creating a flow that aligns with how we want everyone to feel. So it's like a lot of times we go on trips and we're either running all around with no rest, or so it's just like creating that balance where we can. I usually like to, when we work together, we like to start off the trip with like something exciting, like a dash of turn up, something high vibrational, and kind of transition into more of a rest and restoration type of element. So I do say that is what's special about our retreats, because they are not like your traditional retreats. And we do incorporate all those elements of activity, adventure, hanging out, um, and yeah, just mainly restoration. So even with the mindfulness with the meals, that is intentional. So you're just not going all crazy and just eating everything under the moon, but you are intentional and taking that as like a mindful practice. I do want to say, even with elements such as Terri's workshops, I think our flow together really it is another part of the thoughtfulness because of the grounding and balanced energy it brings. And so that's another opportunity to bring that hardcore wellness element to the retreat. So it's just from choosing extremely amazing facilitators to making sure the activities align, trying to include opportunities for rest where see fit. I know Costa Rica was like a 5-day experience. So it's just giving you a taste of Costa Rica so that you can do everything, rest, adventure, restoration. So it is a lot of intention that does go into the experiences from start to finish. It's how do you want to feel? How do you want the guests to feel when they go home? Do you want them to feel tired? No, you want them to feel restored. So that's what's incorporated in the experience.
Yeah.
I would say that definitely happened for me. I was traveling to Costa Rica earlier, and then I met up with Chandra and Terri. And so the beginning of the trip, I had ordered my own Airbnbs, found rides for myself. But I had some challenges there. We ended up in an Airbnb where it was very difficult to get a ride share to come in. There were gates and checkpoints. And so some of my beginning of my journey was challenging and frustrating. And so it was really nice to go with these two women who are already know how to navigate everything, already know how to set everything up. And because I'm a teacher, I wanted to sit back and relax. And the start of my trip, I was not relaxed. I was making phone calls and I was frustrated. And so by the time I met up with Chandra and Terri, I was so glad I had gifted myself 5 days where someone else took care of everything and I could actually be. I think that was an amazing experience. Terri, when we were together on the trip, you did a talk on our trip. You talked about heart health, and sometimes I'm sure there's different topics that you discuss. There were a few things that I really enjoyed. We went outside of the home and you saged us to start this ceremony. And then we went inside. You gave us educational journals that we were able to take home and utilize. I still have mine. And you also gave us a ton of knowledge of being women, of taking care of our hearts and stress. How do you choose the topics, and why did you feel like offering that and in a vacation?
I choose the topics by getting still and listening to what Divine has for me. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I know I need to talk about something. And as we expand and in the collective space, I always find myself getting that right topic that feeds myself and the class. So this time we talked about heart health and natural ways to relieve pain. And as we are both nurses, we know that there's so many alternatives, right? There's so many ways in which we can relieve symptoms, we can relieve pain, we can reduce stress. So it's always good to be able to share sometimes these ideas and methods are familiar, but bringing them to the forefront always allows people to remember that, wellness can start from within. We can definitely make sure we secure our health by securing our heart health, our mental health, our complete body health. The whole balance is needed for optimal health. So I just got still and was like, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? And, we were all dealing with different health issues, whether it's physical or internal. And I thought managing pain would be appropriate.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was great. I filled my notebook with so many tips. I think while I was on vacation away from my job, away from my everyday stressors, hearing your seminar talk, I was able to identify things because I'm removed from them. And then also it reminds myself of what I need to do and take care of myself when I go back. So I thought that part of the educational part of the trip was phenomenal. Not only do you both have backgrounds in nursing, but I just want to go through a couple beautiful things on your resumes. Chandra is a retreat director. She also has holistic wellness practitioner in her background, private nursing, vocational nursing, yoga instruction from Bali, also yoga teacher training with Queen Afua, who I follow on Instagram as well, with Sacred Women program. So beautiful background. Terri, also in her background, has alternative healing methods. She is a speaker at different conferences like Collective Wellness. She's got sound healing with chakra bowls, chakra and sound bowls, retreat facilitator. There's so many things in your backgrounds. Host and producer, Reiki, crystal vibration. The list goes on and on. It's amazing everything that you two offer. Are there any other services that you want us to know about? You do offer travel. Is there anything else that we should know about that's coming up in your future as well with all of your other background information?
Oh, wow. You have everything, but I would like to elaborate. Yes, I did Journey Through the Sacred Woman program with Queen Afua that helped me heighten my holistic practice. So here in Los Angeles, I have a yoni steam and womb spa where I offer womb care support as well as birth worker support. I am sorry, it's a plane going by, but I don't know if you can hear it. But I will be offering doula care services. So in addition to womb care support, I will be supporting mothers through their birthing journey, uh, through birth and postpartum care, and also in bereavement care for miscarriages or abortions. So those are the services we provide here in addition to wellness vacay retreats. And yeah, that's what's outside of wellness vacay retreats. So
That's wonderful. I feel like that could be a whole nother episode that we could talk about next week. That's beautiful. Terri,
Yeah.
what else can you tell us about your background and any other offerings that you have?
So the other offerings that I do, very much interested in feng shui. So I do home transformations, want to make sure that the energy in your home is right. Coaching, definitely love one-on-one coaching. Also, just kind of energy shifting, just really doing that clearing out with Reiki, clearing out the old, bringing in the new, making space for more, and definitely still working in emergency medical. I'm still doing pediatric nursing, so I'm looking to follow my sis here footsteps with a doula certificate real soon and continue that. Yeah, we're gonna have a doula group soon. So, working with the kids and working with newborns and neonates is really satisfying in the emergency setting. So looking to expand on that as well. We do also have some retreats coming up in June and
Yes.
August.
Yeah.
That's great. You guys, I can't think of anyone better when a new life is coming to Earth. They should meet the both of you. Do it for you. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I can
Thank
totally
you.
see that
Thank
as
you.
like a brilliant idea.
I
Okay,
would like
so
to add, oh, sorry.
oh no, go
I was
ahead.
gonna just, I know, no, I was gonna add that I also like to provide, of course, it's the wellness vacay retreats, but here we also provide detoxing. I love
Yeah.
detoxing
Yeah.
and digital detox and
Yeah.
organic detoxing with juices. So here we also have the infrared sauna, sacred space facilitation. So
Yeah.
if you want to just cleanse your body on a physical level or on an energetic level, that is the detoxing services. So yeah, you could transition. I think you were about to go to the retreats because Terri just mentioned that we do have some retreats
Yeah.
coming up in June and August.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I found your retreat and I also was working with Fund for Teachers. So as a teacher, I loved going on this retreat because I'm so busy all the time. I'm manning my classroom. I'm always in charge. So it was so nice to have someone else take care of me. I think through COVID, we realized that essential workers like nurses, like yourself, need to be taken care of. My brother is works for UPS. He's always, I don't think he's ever had a break since COVID, right? So there's a lot of different people that deserve these type of vacations. We've talked a lot about a women's retreat, but it's not just women that you serve. You've also talked to me about how you've had couples on retreats, families on retreats as well. And so, yeah, what retreats do you have coming up for travel that people should join into? Because I'm telling you guys, audience, join them. You're going to have an amazing experience. What
Yeah.
other retreats do you offer?
Well, we're going to do the LA retreat this coming June 2025, the beginning of June 2025. And we're going to do another detox wellness retreat here in LA while seeing all the beautiful sights. We have the pleasure of living in a city where people come to tour. So we're going to get to see some beautiful spaces and keep wellness at the forefront with that retreat. And then we'll do our Bali retreat in August. Chandra, you want to expand on the Bali retreat?
Yes, yes, I would like to tap in too on the June retreat. Just so our teachers know, the June retreat is actually towards the end of June. The school is
Yes.
out. It's
Yes.
at the end of June, and
Yes.
the Bali retreat is at the beginning of August.
Beginning.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we will be doing.
Oh, those
I
work
think
perfect for teachers.
Yeah.
okay, we want the teachers to participate and provide those sacred
Yeah.
spaces
Yes.
and just love up on everybody and let them just relax because we understand most of the time when people come on our retreats are the ones doing all the planning, are the head of households, are the people who are doing something for everybody else. So the Bali retreat at the beginning of August, that's going to be our Taste of Bali experience. And that's going to be a 7-day journey where we will primarily be in Ubud, which is the spiritual center of Bali. So that's going to be really fun. It's going to have a girls trip style flair. We're also going to have some pop-up experiences. We have not locked in those dates just yet, but we do have a co-ed retreat coming up, a couples retreat coming up. So we advise everybody just to stay aligned with us. Go to the website wellnessvacayretreats.com, or you can go to thehealingtemple.com and you can see the experiences that are coming up. Or follow Wellness Vacay Retreats on Instagram, or the Healing Temple on Instagram, where you can see what's coming up in our upcoming retreat experiences. So we do have a lot in store for 2025 for the LA retreat and the August Bali retreat. Registration
Yes.
opens up in January. So you want to get in January so you can catch our early bird special. But that's what we have coming up so far.
That's perfect because all summer those are wonderful times for families and couples, teachers,
Exactly.
etc. to travel. That's great. All of their links will also audience be in the notes on this video, so you can just scroll down and find those. My mom just sent me a calendar the other day for Christmas. She put together photos, and I wanted to show you that you guys are many months in here. She pulled pictures from my Instagram. and put together memories for myself. So I was just so
I needed to
excited.
send that.
I just got it like 2 nights ago. So it was really beautiful to find like several months filled with pictures because of all the beautiful things that we did together. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was so great. Thank you so much for your time
Give mama high
today.
five.
Yes, I know.
Thank
Go, mom.
you.
Go, mom.
Yeah, I'll have to bring her on one of the retreats and we can hang out
I was
together,
gonna
right?
say,
We were
because
talking about that mother-daughter retreat.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Yeah. And I've got to go to Bali with you guys. I can't wait. We're gushing about it in Costa Rica, so I've got to go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Audience, you can get a hold of them and all of their information is down below. You can find them on Instagram as well. I hope this inspires you if you are an entrepreneur, if you're trying to go see the world and taking care of ourselves. So what a great opportunity. Come and join and travel with these two women, Chandra and Terri. And thank you so much for stopping by. Like, subscribe, share this with a friend, family member, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.